You see, one of the things that we must be instructed about from our own history is that human excellence has been pioneered consistently by people of Africa. You must remember that you are the ones who pioneered human civilization. That we are the ones who first began to engage in the civilized conduct, guided by celebration rather than instinct. We were the ones who began to engage in the process of bringing together the highest human and mental processes to engage in the process of survival on this planet. We are the ones who developed and engaged in establishing family relationships, civilized conduct, symbolism, and the ability to extrapolate from the pictures of nature the whole process of understanding the divine plan laid out in the creation, which gave us the dictates and the principles of science, which we replicated in building a society based upon principles of truth, which we call art. It is we who were for thousands of years engaged in the process of communication when other people were still trying to find out where they were on the planet. We are the ones who were in fact building and structuring environments consistent with our needs when other people were simply finding holes in the ground and calling them caves and living there. We were the ones who were engaged in manufacturing and founding and smelting metal when other people were still tying animal skins around rocks and knocking each other's brains out with them. We are the ones who were engaged in cultivation, irrigation, and planting the crops that gave us what we wanted to have, so that when the famines came and the droughts came, we still could eat, when other people only could run from one place to nomadic life to the other. We started that. We are the ones who began to introduce reflection and intellectual development to the planet. If you follow the development of African life from the base of Mount Kilimanjaro, moving up the Nile River, what you find is the growth of civilization going over thousands of years. You find people building temples and centers of learning. You find people molding out symbols of higher transcendent messages that begin to give man's mind the aspiration for higher and greater excellence, begin to tie together man's relationship to the heavenly bodies and understand that the rhythms and the patterns laid out in the celestial sphere were no more than reflections of the celestial capabilities within the cosmic possibilities of the human mind itself. To begin to understand, listen, that the precision and the numbers known as mathematics laid out in the mathematical form of the universe itself could only be replicated in the whole numerical rhythms that are made up in the makeup of the inner soul of the human being. We were the ones who began to understand that as the stars laid out patterns of being in the sky, it also laid out patterns of being within the psyche of man and woman. To begin to understand that man and woman, who go having the appearance of separateness, were in fact the complementary sameness divided into. To understand that there was no fragmentation in nature, but to understand the principle of unity in all that was nature. To understand that healing was not just a process of the body, but it was a process of the mind, a process of the spirit. It was not one person doing the healing, it was the community that made healing take place. It was the process of bringing about rhythm in the beating of the drums to restore the rhythm of the body in order to bring back the smooth and harmonious flow of the principles of life within the body. These are things that Africans did for hundreds of years and built mighty pyramids and built mighty temples and built symbols of strength and built a whole civilization that over and over again replicated and expanded itself, laid out ethical principles such as the 42 negative confessions, which served as the first codified conception that ethics was the way to be alive on the planet. Now, while doing that, we even lost our greatness, were invaded and overrun